What's going on, guys? Now, the Sony showcase happened like almost a week ago now, and I wasn't gonna make this video because I don't own a PlayStation, so it felt kind of stupid to be like, well, why am I covering a Sony game showcase when I don't own a PlayStation? Even though I'm thinking about getting one for Grand Theft Auto, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that yet. Even though it is Grand Theft Auto, and I could just sell the console after I play it. Like, just getting a whole console for one game feels kind of stupid to me. Even though it is going to be like a landmark cultural thing. I wasn't going to make this video because I felt weird about like making a video about a Sony PlayStation type showcase when I don't own a PlayStation. But then like I got to thinking about it, and it's like, dude, a lot of the games that they showcased are probably coming to PC, and I still have opinions about them, even if they're the couple that are exclusives, but can still have something to contribute to the conversation. I still kind of have, I guess, a reason to make this video because a lot of these games are coming to PC and I care about them in some way and have stuff to say about them, even though I don't own a PlayStation, even though it is a PlayStation showcase. So without further ado, let's get into this. First game they showed was Wolverine. I mean, look, it looks good. I have a concern in that I'm worried about it getting a bit too repetitive. I've always been kind of hard to please when it comes to like character action stuff because a lot of times it just gets way too repetitive for me. So, in the Spider-Man games that they made, I just recently started playing through those for the first time. I know I'm like 10 years late. Fucking sue me. But those games are fun, but I think those games and the fact that they're open world, it kind of takes away from the repetitiveness of the combat, because the combat is pretty repetitive. I mean, you are doing the same basic combos over and over again, but like there's also like swinging through the city, and you can like choose what to do. You choose to stop this crime, or choose to go for this backpack, or get this token, whatever. And I think that kind of helps dilute the repetitiveness a little bit. And this game's not gonna have that. It doesn't help that it looked like every kill in this was like a quick time event, which I'm assuming that they just put on like unlimited takedowns or something. If you remember, like in the original Spider-Man games, you press like B and Y if your meter was full and it would like take down an enemy. I'm assuming they just had that like maxed out or whatever. They had that like always on just so they could showcase like the gore and some of the animations and stuff. Because otherwise, if you're just pressing a couple buttons and it just like automatically does it for you, that's kind of fucking lame. I want to do the shit. I don't want to watch a character do it. So, that has me a bit worried. I'm going to assume that they just have like unlimited takedown mode on. I will say it is kind of funny watching a character in bright yellow spandex do stealth. That's kind of funny, but look, it looks fun. I'll probably play it just because it's something to play, and I want to have something to play on my PS5 other than GTA to make me feel better about it, buying it. And I do like their previous games they made. I do like the Spider-Man games. Again, from what I've played, I haven't played them all. I'm working my way through them, but so I do believe that they can do a good job at combat, and it looks good. I mean, it looks gory. You got the blood that disappears from him like you're playing fucking Dragon Age Origins. It looks good. I know there's a lot of people that are complaining. I certainly have worries about it. All in all, I think it looks decent. It looks like exactly what you would expect it to be. It's not like it's setting the world on fire or being this brand new thing. It's pretty much what you'd expect from an Insomniac Wolverine game after they made the Spider-Man game. So for better or for worse, that's what it is. Next, look, Marvel Token. I'm sure you fighting game people love this. I'm not into fighting games. For the most part. I mean, I do like Mortal Kombat for some reason. That's like an exception for me. But I will say I'm getting tired of the tag battling. What's with the obsession with tag battlers? Because like I would be more interested in trying it if it wasn't this fucking tag battle shit. And it seems like every fighting game that comes out is wanting to do this tag battle crap. Mortal Kombat 1, when that came out, it was that fucking tag battle shit. That's more assistance, but it's the same thing. Fucking that Invincible Versus game that came out last month is tag battling. This game is tag battling. Can we fuck off with tag battling, please? It's stupid. Like, if I play a fighting game, I prefer to learn like 1 or 2, maybe 3 characters and get those characters down and learn their combos. Not, well, this character can combo into this assist that links into this combo, which goes into this other assist that you tag and then tag back. I just don't want to do that shit. I don't want to do that shit. I just want to learn my characters and learn my combo And that's it. In my combos and how they link together with one or two characters. I don't want to have to learn how they link up with assists and how they... Fuck all that shit, man. But so yeah, I'm not interested in this. I might be more interested if it wasn't fucking tag battling, because I do like Mortal Kombat, even though I'm not big into fighters. You know, I just don't like tag battlers. Even when Mortal Kombat did it, I didn't like that one either. But, you know, it's there for people who love tag battlers. Apparently they're popular because I keep fucking making them, so... You know, this one's for you, I guess. Next, we got Rayman Origins. What is this? Some remake of a Rayman game. I don't know what... Legends Retold, that's what it is. I didn't play the original Legends. I did play the very first Rayman game on the PlayStation when I was a kid, and I never beat it, because it's one of the fucking hardest games of all time. Believe it or not, I'm not even fucking kidding, because they give you like 3 continues, and if you lose them, you're fucked. You start the whole game over. So I never got past like World 4, I think. Like the one past the musical thing, I never got past it. And then I did play the second game too. I played those games when I was a kid, and then I kind of just... And then I played, like, Rayman Arena. I was a big Rayman fan, like, as a kid, and then I just kind of stopped playing them. I never played Legends. Maybe I should go back and play that, but... Look, this will give me an excuse to go back and play Rayman. I guess I've always liked Rayman, even though I never beat the first game. You know, maybe this will give me an excuse to go back and play it. It looks good. It looks fun and colorful. I know a lot of people online were saying it's kind of pointless because Legends is already good. Again, I'll have to go back and play that. I did play Origins way back on the Xbox Live Arcade when I had my 360 when that released. Like, way back when. It looks fun. I do want to play it just because I used to be a big Rayman fan, so I kind of have that attachment there. So, yeah, it looks good. I'm glad that they're actually using this franchise and not just, like, putting it on ice and never using it. Because, like, it deserves more than what it's been getting. So, I know Ubisoft is in a shitty place. So they're doing this desperate, it's like with the Assassin's crap thing, where they're trying to just remake the one that everyone loves because they're just desperate for money. But, look, if it's good, it's good. I never played the original, so maybe this will give me an excuse to play it. And I've been a big Rayman fan for a while, so, or at least since when I was a kid I was, so. Yeah, there's some Sushi Chef game, I don't know. If you like it, you know, you can play it. Bancho the Chef. Like, this is one of those ones I don't have anything to say. It looks like a quirky little fun cartoon game. If you like it, you know, play. There's no fucking release date, so we don't really know shit about it other than it's a sushi game. Fair enough, whatever. Alright, next game, we got fucking yokai attack game. I don't even know what they call it. I'm not a big character action guy, especially when it's like class-based with this is. You got 4 different classes. I just don't like character action. It's too repetitive for me, man. I've tried to play, like, the old God of War games and, like, Devil May Cry and all that shit, and it's just boring. I just get bored after, like, 10 minutes. So, it's the same combos over and over, and it just doesn't hold my attention. So, and especially because this looks to be, like, more cooperative, multiplayer-focused. I know it's not multiplayer, you know, required, but I'm just not a big co-op guy. If anything, I prefer competitive multiplayer, but, you know, whatever. Look, if you like Japan, you like fucking yokai shit, you like character action stuff like Devil May Cry or fucking Bayonetta or fucking Crimson Desert, any of these other fucking character action games, you'll probably love this. I don't like those games because, you know, as I've stated, but if you do, you know, this is for you. And I'm glad, you know, that you people are getting games that you like to play. So, next we got Tomb Raider. Again, I don't care about Tomb Raider. I did play Uncharted growing up, but that was more for like the characters and the story than like the actual puzzles and combat, and this seems to be more combat and puzzle focused because it's a remake of a PS1 game, so that does make sense. Story actually wasn't really a high priority to video game developers back then, so it's understandable why story wasn't very complex back then. Look, I don't care about Tomb Raider. Again, if you grew up with these games, you probably love this. Like, I grew up with the Rayman games. I didn't grow up with Tomb Raider. Some people had the PS1 that grew up with Tomb Raider. That's fine. You know, they can play this. You know, I know Tomb Raider's definitely got more entries and more love than Uncharted as of late. So, again, not a whole lot to say about it. If you like, you know, puzzles and action and combat, Tomb Raiding, then here it is. You know, it's coming out September, I think. So, you know, you can have fun with that. Again, if there was more of like a story and like characters like the Tomb Raider reboot had, then I would actually like care a bit more. But Again, it's a remake of a PS1 game, so I'm not going to expect that. Next, we have this dinosaur game by Annapurna. Now, Annapurna games I don't like because they tend to be playable movies, and I tend to, prefer my games to be actual games. But I do like games like Dispatch and stuff, though, where it's like you get to pick dialogue options, even though they don't matter, and it doesn't really matter. I always got a kick of like the choose your own adventure games when I was books when I was a kid, and that kind of reminds me of those. So I do like that, but I don't typically like Annapurna. But I do like the idea of like a dinosaur horror game. I will say it seems like there was a switch that got flipped, or like a lot of people realized at the same time, like man, there's not really a lot of like dinosaur horror stuff out there, is there? They got that like dinosaur horror movie that's coming out with like Anne Hathaway and whatever, and then we got this isn't even the first dinosaur horror game we got. I think like Capcom is making one, aren't they? There's another company that's making another dinosaur horror game that I can't think of off the top of my head. Put it in the comments. And then you got this one. It's like all of a sudden realize like, oh man, people realize like, oh man, dinosaurs, they could actually be scary. Who would have thought? But yeah, look, I like horror games. I'm not the biggest fan of dinosaurs, but I mean I like them. They're fine. So I like the fact that there's more dinosaur games coming out that aren't just Jurassic World games. As much as I do like the Jurassic World games, because I'm a sucker for, management stuff. But I'll keep an eye on it, I guess. We don't really know shit about it. Like I said, it's not the first dinosaur horror game, so we'll see. I'm intrigued, but I wouldn't say I'm interested. Next, we got Phantom Blade Zero. Look, it's another Japanese samurai game. I'm kind of burnt out on the Japanese samurai stuff. Can we stop with that? You got the Ghost of game, and then you got the Assassin's Creed game that did the same thing. Then we got Phantom Blade Zero. It's just, I'm over the fucking Japanese samurai shit. We've had so many Japanese, it seems like we've had like 2 or 3 AAA Japanese samurai games like a year at this point for the past like 3 or 4 years, and I'm just like over it. It's a Souls-like, it looks like, which I've never been a big fan of. The only Souls-like I've ever beaten was Elden Ring. I don't like the structure. I don't like the linearity of Souls-like games. I don't like slamming my head against a brick wall for weeks on end, dying 2,000 times to the same boss. And I'm not even exaggerating. Like, I counted, and I die hundreds of times to some of these bosses. I just don't like it. I don't like doing that. At least Elden Ring, if I get stuck, I can fuck off, go to another area, level up, come back, and beat it that way. But most Souls-likes, you can't do that, so I don't like them. I don't know if this is a Souls-like. It looks like it. It's either that or it's like a character action thing. And like I said, it's a samurai thing. And I like samurai, but I'm burnt out on samurai. I'm tired of samurais. Look, it's there. If you if you still want more samurai shit, it's still there. I know people love Japanese culture for some reason, which is annoying. But if you like it, you like it. There's not a whole lot here. We just know it's character action based, potentially Souls-like. Again, from what it looks like. So if you're into those games, I know there's a lot of people that are in Japanese samurai. I know there's a whole shit ton of people obsessed with Japanese culture. There's a whole bunch of weebs out there. So, if you're into that shit, here you go. This one's for you. Dune Awakening, who cares? It's an online survival game. I don't care. I have friends that love and are obsessed with survival games, and it pisses me off because they'd rather play that fucking slop than play actual games that are worth a shit. I don't care about survival games. If you play them, go ahead and play them. I can't stand them. Again, like character action games, I get bored after 10 minutes. I don't get anything out of just building stuff or just killing stuff. Terraria I like. Terraria is the only survival crafting game that I've played that I actually really, really enjoy, and that's because there's progression. They give you a goal. It's not just build something cool and kill these enemies. It's like, no, you have to build this armor to get to a boss, and then you kill the boss to get more materials. There's an actual progression there in gold. Most survival games don't have that, and this one it probably doesn't either. So I don't care. I'm sure most other people don't either. I'm sure this game probably doesn't have many players. But if you're part of the players, I'm not talking shit on you. I just don't like survival games. So Dynasty Warriors 3 Remastered, ain't got shit to say. Don't like character action games. No Rest for the Wicked. I don't know what this is. I don't like Diablo-like games. Again, because they get too repetitive and I get bored after an hour. I don't like them. I always wish that they had like a game that was like had like the combat of like the Diablo stuff, but had like the story chops and like the character building and stuff of like an RPG. where like instead of getting stuck within a specific class and like being forced to use that class's abilities, like you get to make your own class and like level up your character and build your character out. And like if it has like dialogue options, or you get to choose what factions to side with or stuff like that, that would make me care about this type of game. But since there's no game that has done that, and it really should be, like I think it's a really good idea. Until that day, I don't care about these kinds of games really, so... Omnimusha, again, this is another one I was talking about, Japanese samurai games. I'm done with the Japanese samurai crap. We've gotten so many of these goddamn fucking games over the last few... I'm done with it. I'm not going to say anything more about that because people are going to start calling me racist and bigoted because I don't like, you know, Japanese stuff, which... That's not the case. It's not that I don't like it. I love samurai, so I'm just tired of it. The other AAA game these days is either Japanese or samurai or ninja, and I'm just tired of it. So and I've never been a big... I've never even played one of these games. So, again, I don't care. If you're into it, if you're a weeb, play it. You know, have fun. As if there's not enough games for you fucking weebs to enjoy these days. But whatever. Next we got Silent Hill Townfall. I think it's Townfall. I don't know what the fuck the subtitle of this game is. But I'm a big Silent Hill fan. I like pretty much all non-Resident Evil horror games. Not all of them. Like, most of them that are well-known that have a decent budget. You know, I'm a big fan of Dead Space. I'm a big fan of Silent Hill. Evil Within I really like. So, like, I like big-budget horror games that let you fight back as well, and that you aren't just kind of a little scared little pussy bitch, because in real life, I'm a little scared little pussy bitch, and that gives me way too much anxiety, like, running and hiding. Like, I know it's stupid, but, like, I literally cannot play those games where you can just run and hide, because it scares me shitless. I literally cannot handle the anxiety of doing that. When you give me a gun, it's a bit different, because I can defend myself, and I'm not fucking an anxiety-riddled mess when I play them. That being said, I'm a big fan of, you know, Silent Hill. I like, and I don't have anything against Resident Evil either, by the way. It's just that Resident Evil tends to be a bit cheesy, and they tend not to get into the really dark and fucked up stuff because they try to keep it light. You know, I'm just not a big fan of cheese in my horror, dude. I can't stand horror comedies. I can't stand comedy in my horror. I really can't. Like, it's one of my fucking pet peeves that I really, really don't like, which kind of puts me off of Resident Evil for that exact reason. And Silent Hill has had a lot less of that historically. So has Dead Space. Again, you can see why I like the really dark, fucked up horror. Usually the more dark and fucked up it is, the more I like it. I don't know what that says about me as a person, but this game does tend to look more like the whole scared and run like a little pussy-ass bitch gameplay style. But I can try and play it just because I really like Silent Hill and I like the psychological aspects of it, so... That's another thing. I like psychological horror as well. Dead Space had a lot of that too. So I'll try it out because I'm a big Silent Hill fan. I'm glad that this is a series that's getting maybe not as much love as Resident Evil, but a similar amount nowadays. Because again, I tend to prefer it over Resident Evil because it's a lot darker in tone and it's a lot more psychological, which I really get into, and as opposed to like the visceral horror that Resident Evil does. So yeah, I'm interested. There's not a whole lot of gameplay here, so we don't know a whole lot about it, but we'll see. Next, we got Ace Combat 8. Is this the 8th game? I don't know. I've been meaning to play through these games. It's actually like a planned video series that I plan on doing where I go back through and I play through them, because I didn't play a lot of these games, but I did play the 5th one and the 6th one. The 5th one was like legitimately one of my favorite games as a kid. I would literally go, like, when I was a kid, I would go in my backyard and I would like role play the missions that were in Ace Combat 5 just because of the dialogue and like the way that it's presented. It's really melodramatic, but like when I was a kid, that shit was so epic to me. Like, I don't know. So I've been meaning, just for that reason alone, I've been meaning to go and just replay through these games, because like if 5 is even half as good as I remember it being story-wise, I'd really enjoy it. I remember it being really hard. I tried to go back through like 5 or 6 years ago and replay it, and I got stuck on like the 4th mission. It's really, really fucking difficult. I don't know how the fuck I did that as a kid, but I've been meaning to go back and replay through these games because I do think I would really enjoy them. I do like the dialogue and like how the dialogue plays through the mission and how the missions are structured and the storylines. I love that stuff, so I've been meaning to replay through these games, and I do want to play this because, again, I do have good, fond memories of this series. So, I don't know if it's like a Sony exclusive game. I wouldn't think so, considering the rest of them aren't, but it says PS5. Maybe it's like an exclusive, or maybe it's like a timed exclusive thing. I don't know. If I was an actual good YouTuber, I would look that shit up, but I don't want to do that. So, all right, next we got Stuntman. Look, I never played the Stuntman games. I don't care about Stuntman. Another one of those games. I don't got a lot to say. If you enjoy it, you know, I hope you enjoy it. I won't play it because I don't care about Stuntmen or anything to do with this fucking franchise. But hey, if you do, it's there for you. I'm happy that an obscure franchise, and I'm sure there are people that remember fondly, you know, gets it revived, and those people get something out of it. So, next we got and people might call me stupid for this. This was probably my favorite game that they showed. I enjoyed this more than Wolverine, more than more than anything they showed. I love really fucked up and dark horror games. And that's what this looks like. This game looks fucking gross, dude, in the best possible way. This game looks fucking disgusting. It's like a darker Resident Evil, or a more visceral Resident Evil. It's in terms of like the body horror and stuff. And you're just like hacking dudes apart. It's made by Munfish, who made Atomic Heart. Which, again, Atomic Heart has a lot of issues. I definitely have a lot of problems with that game. It's definitely on the verge of being good. I would hesitate in calling it good because of the problems that game has. One of the things that Munfish did really good in that game is the dismembering. I do think the dismembering in this game will be pretty good. And it looks good. It looks gross and visceral. This game just looks really good. I can't wait for this game. It's coming out next year. I'll probably buy it fucking day one if it, you know, unless it gets like really shitty reviews or something. Again, Munfish is their previous game is, it's got bits that I like. It's got a lot of bits that I don't like. Hopefully they don't repeat the same problems that game did. You know, where you can't move around without getting just harassed, and enemies are bullet spongy to fuck, and you can't take more than like 2 on at once without getting instant fucked, and all the other problems that game had. Hopefully they've learned from it, and, you know, hopefully this game's good. It looks gross in the best possible ways. It looks good. It looks dark. It looks horrifying, so it's right up my alley, and I like that kind of shit. So, yeah, looking forward to this one, for sure. Next, we got Control Resident. I don't care about Control. It's more character action stuff, so I never really got into it. But, hey, it's there for you. If you're into that series, I'm glad people that are into it, you know, can enjoy it. Marathon, they gotta do the marathon push. I know people don't care about it. I don't really care about it. I don't like extraction shooters, but Sony's, and they're all in on this, so it's gotta be here. I will say it's kind of funny how they had like this open beta or whatever to push people into it, and like the servers crashed when they, apparently, what I heard, when they instituted this. So they do this big marketing push to get people to play the game, and then people actually play the game and actually works to a small degree, but then it doesn't because their servers can't handle it. If there's not a better, like, in a nutshell kind of description of Bungie at this point, then I don't know what it is. Alright, next we got RuneScape Dragon Wilds. I don't give a shit about RuneScape. Until Dawn 2, again, I don't get a whole lot out of these games. I do like horror stuff. But these games honestly just seem a bit too schlocky. You know, all these kinds of games where you focus on like young horny people trying to do stuff, and you know, I don't know, it just seems a bit too generic and cliche to me. It just, I don't know, man. And I like horror stuff, and I like slasher movies too, so you'd think I would love these games, but like, I don't know. It's too tropey. Like, it seems like it's kind of like they're self-aware, but it's not really in a way where it's like, I'm laughing with you as you're doing these tropes. It's like you're just doing these tropes. Like, good for you. I don't know. I'm sure, you know, for the people who like it, but especially because a lot of these games, it's like it's focused on, well, you control this person, your friends control the other people, and a lot of the joy from these games is like you play it with your friends, and you know, you get live reactions out of it. And I don't have friends. I don't get much out of these games, and I do like horror stuff a lot, but I don't know. These games are a bit too fucking, like I said, tropey, and there's a bit too much focus on the horny shit to make me really care, so. Alright, and last, we're going to talk about this God of War game. Now, there's a lot of stupid comments and dumb complaints from the peanut gallery. We're just gonna ignore all the complaints and criticisms from those group of people. No, I'm not a God of War fan because I tried to play. I remember when I was a kid, I tried to play the games back on the PS2, and the first game I just got bored. There was like this really cool fight with this like 3-headed thing, and then after that it's just boring. And I got really bored after like the next 2 hours, and I quit playing it. And I don't like. It's also a pet peeve thing of mine where I don't like playing a series in the middle or starting a series in the middle. I hate doing it. It's why I haven't played Resident Evil. I don't really feel like, oh well, just start with 2018 then. I don't want to do that, dude. I don't want to start a series in the middle. I want to start it where it begins. It's the same reason why I hate prequels for the most part in anything. Prefer to start it where it begins and play it to the end. I hate going back or starting somewhere and then going back. I hate that shit. It's not really something that, you know, I could play. If I were to ever go back and play that first God of War, I feel like if I made it through the first God of War game, I feel like they get a lot better after the first one. From what I've read online, there's only like 2 boss fights, maybe 3 in that entire first game. There's a lot of filler because it was the first one. And maybe one of these days I'll have it with him, but I've never been the biggest character action hack and slash guy anyway, so it's never really been a genre that appeals to me. Even though I've seen cinematics and stuff, and they look cool, I'm sure I would actually like genuinely enjoy the story if I could get into it. But there's been a lot of complaints online. Like I said, a lot of it we're not even gonna acknowledge because a lot of it's just stupid bullshit. I feel bad for the people who want to talk about this game and get inevitably dragged into fucking culture war nonsense. I will say some of the complaints regarding like some of the dialogue I can certainly understand, and like the quirky characters where you have like a talking cube and a talking sword, they don't really seem like they fit in the same universe. It's like they took them from a Marvel movie or something, and I don't really think that's exactly the tone that this universe and these games really go for, but I think that criticism is probably valid. Like I said, it's not something that I really can play unless I go back and play the games from the beginning and I manage to get through that first game. You know, for those people that like these games, you know, this is more of them. I know it's kind of popular to hate on these kind of like over-the-shoulder narrative, you know, Sony first-party things, but you know, people like them, and I think if the story's good enough and the gameplay, you know, if it has people that enjoy playing it, then they keep selling, they keep making them for a reason. You know, to those people who enjoy it, you know, I hope you enjoy it. To the people making bad faith arguments online for stupid fucking reasons, you can eat shit. Even though I'm not really interested in it myself for the reasons that I've stated, I am rooting for its success because I do like Deborah Ann Wool as an actor, because she was really good in Daredevil, and then like after Daredevil ended on Netflix, she had a really hard time like finding roles for a long time, which really surprised me when I read about that, because she was really good in Daredevil, and then she got recast at Daredevil, and then she's getting this. I'm glad she's getting work, because she's been in stuff that I really enjoy, and I thought she was really good in stuff that I enjoy. I definitely support it just for that, because I'm glad that that character's getting work. Not that, you know, or that I'm glad that that actress is getting work. I should put it that way. All in all, I would have to say that the whole showcase is like, it was fine. There was a few things that I liked, you know, like the Wolverine stuff, even though it's kind of, you know, samey. And I do have concerns about that. I mean, it looks fun for a little bit. The question is, like, can they sustain it? You know, there's some other stuff I like. That fucking ill game looks fucking sick. That was a pun intended, by the way. I know, just fucking shoot me in the face. Please, I beg you. I'm not exactly sure how many of these things are exclusives, but, you know, the whole thing was just kind of eh. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, there was a few things that I liked and that I care about, but for the most part, it was just like, it's fine. I wouldn't say it's a complete failure of a showcase, because, like I said, there were some games shown here, and it was a pretty wide variety of games, and they did a good job at showing gameplay too, which is a big problem that I have with a lot of these showcases, where it's just fucking constant cinematic bullshit. And I will say, I also appreciate the fact that there wasn't really any live service games here. I know Sony's been getting a lot of shit for doing the live service crap. Rightfully so, because fuck live service. I get it. There wasn't really any of that here. So, you know, you can criticize them when they do the bad shit, but you gotta fucking give them praise when they do the shit that actually, you know, is good. And look, that's about it for this video. I got more video. I know it's late. I got more videos coming for the Summer Games Showcase and Xbox Games Showcase. This is kind of a test video. I want to see if I can actually put this together and if I'm actually competent enough to do it in a competent way. But I'll probably still make videos on those. I'm going to try to be more active on this channel. But until all those videos come out, this is Unfiltered Ascent signing out. Thanks for watching, guys.